Welcome back to IGN Live at E3 and a special edition of Unlock, the world's #1 Xbox show where we can talk about everything Microsoft announced today. Joining me, my regular Unlocked crew, most of them anyway, Alana Pierce, Marty Sleva. Good to see you guys.
Can we talk about how this is episode 299.5?
This is it. This is perfect.
We're doing 300 later in the week.
That's fine.
Yeah. We've got a lot to cover now. We just ran out of time. There were so many games in the Xbox conference that on our Xbox post show, immediately following the conference, we hit on a lot of the big boys, but didn't hit on some of the things that actually we liked the most. All three of us.
We got to talk about the little boys.
We didn't even really talk about what we thought of the conference as a whole. Like, I feel like it was good. They showed games, and I was really happy with that. It was like a lot of what I wanted to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was super solid. The new hot topic or hot phrase is console launch exclusive.
Yeah, which people are using as everyone's using it a little bit differently. So I think we're gonna try to figure out what the hell that means.
But games.
Yes.
Let's get to some of the maybe lesser talked about but equally deserving of airtime games. We have to start with the game. So we're very professional here, right?
Well,
generally, in this room, E3 is a busy newsroom environment. But sometimes the mood catches us right. And with the Xbox conference, that moment was Cuphead finally getting a release date. September 29th. It's a little late birthday present for me, which I'm super thrilled about. Cuphead is finally coming out.
That was the official first round of applause in the IGN War Room of E3 2017.
When we're all sitting in there, we're all so excited, and this is something that, you know, I wasn't even sure we would see this year. And then we got that release date, and everyone just like broke out with applause. And I love this, the likes of which has never been seen before. They cross it out because obviously we've seen it a million times.
And when we're watching that, I'm like, you have to show the date. You have to put it up there, or else like it's never going to come out. But yeah, it's so soon.
I may sound like an insane person. This wouldn't be a surprise, but to me, like, State of Decay 2 looked great. Forza 7 obviously great, but I want to see that game running in 4K. I mean, how good will that look running on an Xbox One X?
It looks photorealistic. It becomes very scary. You don't want to play that game.
It becomes the 1930s. Actually becomes it.
But no, it's super exciting because we've been playing this game since it started off as
years ago
as sort of a boss rush mode, and then they obviously added the campaign, and a very small thing became a much larger thing.
It's platforming now, and like even when we played it as boss rush mode, I loved it. So the fact that it just keeps getting these updates that everyone wants to flesh out the game, and now we know when it's actually coming out.
This is one of those games that reminds me so much of the heyday of XBLA, Summer of Arcade.
Oh my gosh.
Winter of Arcade in Australia.
Thank you. Thank you for that. The other one that, again, like, I want to see this in 4K on an Xbox One X. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It's a game that had been kind of rumored for a while.
Some leaks earlier.
Borderline leaked, but oh man, did that look good.
I mean, that first game remains one of the best looking games of this generation.
And one of the best playing games.
Absolutely.
Just the lighting. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I am so glad we're getting another Ori. I don't know how the first one sold, but it was really well received critically and commercially. Not commercially. From fans is what I'm trying to say. And everyone seemed to really enjoy it. It's hard, and I love that about it. I just kept going back for the challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were smart throughout the years to sort of update the game they updated it, I think, with a permadeath mode as well as a much easier mode. So again, like opening it up to a lot more people. And this game like somehow builds upon the original and looks even better.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot more going on there.
And I
actually,
remember,
for anyone who hasn't played, sorry to cut you off.
No, wait.
Anyone who hasn't played the original, it was discounted this morning.
Oh, that's perfect.
You should go check it out.
Honestly, check it out.
And also, if you take Alana's advice, which you should, the water tower, just once you make it past there, you're good. So if you're frustrated, that is the pinnacle of difficulty in that game. And then you'll feel amazing when you finish it, and then you're gonna cruise from there.
Real talk, Thal's gonna die.
Probably.
You stop it.
It's pretty sad.
But
what do you guys really want from Ori 2?
I'm just generally more of the like.
More is great.
More is fine.
I mean, it's such a good Metroidvania style platformer that. I mean, I would love to see how they can make it better. And that game's so good.
With 4K, Ryan, that's how.
And I think somebody was tweeting me earlier, and I should have to think more about this, I guess, but people were suggesting, is this the first first-party or new IP sequel? Because Sunset Overdrive hasn't gotten a sequel.
Of this generation.
Rise hasn't gotten a sequel. So this might be the first of the new IPs.
Quantum
Break.
Quantum Break's never getting a sequel.
You don't know that.
Well,
Quantum put together.
Quantum half glued.
It's fine.
It totally works.
No one wants this.
But Ori and the Will of the Wisps. How quickly did you guys pick up on it once because they went to the piano player.
As soon as it cut to like a pretentious man playing a piano, I was like, that's definitely Ori 2.
You said that.
Oh yeah, that's
which
I'm totally fine.
No way this is anything else. No, but I figured it would be there this morning when I saw the price drop. Honestly, it was like, oh, that means the second game's coming today.
And it'll be interesting to see if will it be $20 again, digital download, or are they going to kind of flesh this out, build it up some more, and is this going to turn into a full up $60?
I'd be totally fine with that, honestly. I'm perfectly fine with it being $60.
More Ori is good.
Mori.
Hey.
How about Ashen? That's a game that was announced on the Microsoft stage, 2 or 3 years ago?
2014, I want to say.
3 years ago?
We just didn't see anything for quite a while.
Unheard of since, I believe. And now here it is, some gameplay, and it's coming.
So this was one of 2 games shown by Annapurna Games, which is a new publisher. They started in film, now they're doing games. They most recently did What Remains to Be Edith Finch, and this was one of 2 games. In this game, the way they're describing it is Dark Souls with the spirit of the road, which I'm like, all right, I don't understand how those 2 things possibly mix, but I love both of them, so I think it's totally fine.
So good to me.
Yeah, I was getting, not visually, but sort of from the tone, I was getting Below vibes, and we definitely didn't see Below during this conference.
Not convinced that game exists.
The lighting, kind of the moodiness of the lighting reminded me of Inside a little bit. Obviously, the gameplay is completely different, but I kind of got a little feel there.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Like, again, I want to see how this game actually plays, but if it's a, competent Souls-like with this incredible atmosphere and seemingly terrifying difficulty, I'm totally behind it.
I mean, even just seeing this trailer, I think it looks like perfect fit for Soul-style combat.
Yeah, honestly.
This ending part is just so ominous.
Now you're just going to stare like a weird person. You're just
staring
stare
at the screen. It's so pretty.
But one really cool thing is this showcases how diverse Annapurna's become as a publisher, because we mentioned that they have this puzzle game called Gora Goa, this really weird, artsy sort of Katamari game called Donut County, and
which is awesome.
Yes, absolutely. And then the Artful Escape, which was another game we saw today.
In fact, we'll move to the Artful Escape now, because that's next on our list, next on our shopping list. We're putting it in our basket.
There you go.
We're going to go press checkout at the end when we're ready to go. But the Artful Escape looked. It went nowhere. It's fine.
You caught me making fun of him. Damn it.
Let's just forget it and move on.
So the Artful Escape, Marty and I played it at PAX East this year, and I think it is the best demo I've ever had of a game.
Wow.
Marty didn't tell me anything, which was like, come, you have to play this game. I'm not saying anything, just play this game. Got this controller, and it is, I don't even know how to describe it. It's whimsical. It feels like Ghibli. It's sparkly. You have a guitar that you just shred to platform.
It's like if Ghibli made a Bowie album. It's like Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, but as a Ghibli-developed 2D platformer with a music rhythm.
You know what came to mind for me on this?
What was that?
If Tim Schafer's Broken Age were on an acid trip. That's this game.
I thought you were going to say if Tim Schafer was broken, and I'm like, he seems kind of broken.
He's good.
Yeah, he seems pretty broken. This game looks great. We played it when it was called the Artful Escape of Francis Vendetti.
Yeah, that's it, yes.
Thank God it's now a shorter title.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
We're going to have this actually, I don't know, spoilers, we're going to have this on our live show later on in the week.
So exciting, because I hope we can show off some of the dialogue choices as well, because I think it's
really cool.
Quite funny, it's witty and
I like how they said it'll be ready when it's done. So I'm like, well,
I respect that.
It's a good answer.
We'll see
it's also being made by a really small Australian studio, and when we played it, they had an amplifier in front of us, because the sound design is just incredible. It was such a good way to demo a game. Even on a show floor, I still was completely absorbed in every single thing that happened there.
Possibly my favorite of the sort of ID, smaller scale lot. The art style of The Last Night it's like a love letter to
Blade Runner?
Pixel art plus meets Blade Runner.
Yeah, totally.
Take a look at this. You're seeing it on the screen now as soon as the trailer kicks in. But this was just like, I said wow at this. I know it's super cliche.
It was definitely, it's one of those games, like the trailer is incredible. I wasn't entirely sure what I'm going to be doing in this game. I'm like, is this an adventure game? Is this a platformer?
Is it literally Blade Runner the video game?
I could get behind literally Blade Runner the video game. Yeah, it's fine with me.
That'd be chill. We're not sure what you'll be doing, but I mean, it looks really densely populated. I love the art style. The lighting's really cool. This is something that I'm glad to see on the Microsoft show floor.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, like Microsoft has sort of, I don't want to say lost their way, but, sort of the indie crown has kind of been taken away from them by Sony in the last couple of years, especially at bigger shows like this. But, you know, what they showed off today, plus Tacoma finally getting a release date very soon, you know, having an Xbox One now is sort of one of the best places to play all these rad indie games coming up in the next months/years.
Super exciting. But the one thing that we haven't spoken about is how we all feel about the price.
Yes, we've got a few minutes left, and that is a really good topic to hit on, because it's been very divisive, certainly on my Twitter feed. I mean, we've kind of gone on record ahead of E3 of what we think it'll be priced, what we think it should be priced.
Yeah, I got 2 of my predictions correct.
Yeah, I think you might have won. We got to check the scoring when we get back.
Minecraft 2 did not get announced. Sorry, Marty.
Not yet. We'll see. But yeah, we especially coming off yesterday the news that the Xbox One S has a temporary price cut to $200. To me, that was like, oh, this is 100% going to be $500.
Yeah.
And I tweeted that out.
I took it the opposite.
A bunch of people did. And they were like, what's your logic behind it? And I'm like, I think they're creating a divide.
Yeah.
And I think that is the divide between, like, this is the one most people are going to get, and this is the one that the hardest of the hardcore are going to get. Man, $500 is a lot of money. I don't know, like...
You spoke to Phil this afternoon, didn't you?
Yeah, I just came back from over at the Galen Center, got to sit down with Phil, and yeah, he just wanted, his words to me were he didn't want to make a PS4 Pro clone. He was specifically like, we want to make something definitively better, and you know, the price reflects that, and the question now will be for the console customer, that's whether they have a Xbox One or PS4 or neither. Maybe they're still sitting back with a 360 or PS3 and they decide they want to go to the upgraded 4K box. Will and it remains to be seen. We have to see the games to see will they look sufficiently better and run sufficiently better to warrant that additional $100.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big question, I think, for how the Xbox One X will fare in the overall marketplace.
And it's so hard to see that even on the stream. You know, they show us the console, and then they show us Forza Motorsport 7. But we're not getting the stream in 4K, so it looked beautiful, but we still have no idea what it actually looks like.
But that being said, this morning all 3 of us played or saw Assassin's Creed Origins being played on Xbox
and
One
it
X.
looks good, but without
it's
comparison.
It's going to take me so long to say Xbox One X and not Scorpio. But we saw it being played on a dev kit, and it looked incredible. Like, it was an incredible looking game, but I don't know how incredible it looks compared to, you know, a PS4 or an Xbox One or Pro. Yeah. And also, as you saw in this entire segment, how excited we are for these smaller indie games, and how excited the 3 of us especially were for original backwards compatibility for OG Xbox. Those aren't things I need a $500 teraflop machine for.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people are criticizing it for the price, and I've said on the show before that I don't think that I will buy it on launch because that's a lot of money. But I think it's meant to be an opt-in. It's meant to be for people who want extra. It's not meant to be for everyone to buy, right? So it's not like, I mean, the Xbox One S is a great console that you can get now for really cheap. So it's I understand that it's an opt-in for people who have that money and want the upgrade, and it is the best upgrade on the market.
And I mean, we've got about a minute and a half left, but for me, I'm not quite in the market for a 4K TV, much as I'd like to be. You know, other you know, I can't. When I buy a 4K TV, I want to buy like a good one. I don't want to just buy like the cheapest thing at Costco I can get.
Good point.
So it's like, you know, it's going to be a big investment, and I definitely don't want to spend $500 just to get super sampled images in 1080p. I mean, you know, hey, it's great that it's doing that, but at $500, I want and expect a lot more that I can't get until I can afford that 4K TV. So it's a tough. I feel like this console, yes, it's powerful and it seems like it's doing a lot, but it's caught in a little bit of a difficult place, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, you know, like when a new console launches, it usually takes a year, 2 years to finally see the games where you're like, oh, this is the kind of thing that can only be done on this new hardware. And I'm curious to see how long it's going to take to see something where you're like, oh, this looks and runs so markedly better on this than it does on my original Xbox.
Yeah, and I mean, for people who aren't loyal to a console or a brand or to exclusives, people who are just looking at hardware, if you think like the $100 price difference between the PS Pro and the not Scorpio, if they want that good hardware, I feel like they would automatically go for the better one, right? If it's $100 difference, you're like, I want the best thing on the market right now.
All right.